Yeah, this is exactly what you want, I think, if you're an NFL fan. I know there's a lot of Chiefs fans and Broncos fans that would say, no, we want the rest of the division to stink. But to be in the division where every team is above 500 and to have this ability for the Chiefs to put a exclamation point on it and for the Broncos to put themselves into first place with the win on Sunday night, that's why this game was flexed. And the Broncos, I think, even confirmed that they belong in this game with a win over the Los Angeles Chargers last week. Did that win surprise you? What did the Broncos show you in that win?
No, that win didn't surprise me. I am of one other person, of two people on my station who actually gave the Broncos opportunity to win that game. And I understand why, because the team played well against the Cowboys, came back the following week, didn't do well against the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's like, well,
Right.
do I really believe this team or not? And here's why I had faith. I said, well, the team is coming off a bye. So the coaches have an opportunity to fine tune everything that went wrong leading up to this point, which brings up a very interesting point about Kansas City and
Right.
their record, Andy Reid's record coming off a bye. And there's a lot of success there. And usually when you coming off a bye, Pete, now you coming up with extra sprinkles. Like we always talk about wrinkles, but I like to call them sprinkles because no one likes wrinkles, right? When we look at Kansas City, they're going to come up with some extra sprinkles that we didn't see from a defensive standpoint here in Denver, for a while. And they're going to take some of the things that they've done before and they were not great at during the season. They're going to make sure that they're great, and especially crossing the 45 in the red zone. They're going to make sure that they're better. So this is why, this game for me, it is going to be telling for so many reasons, because here in Denver, there's been a lot of talk about, Teddy Bridgewater, more importantly,
Yeah.
Pat Shermer's lack of creativity offensively, and Vic Fangio's defense being a defensive guru. Will they be able to put an effective game plan together to, one, be able to run the ball and pass the ball on Spags' defense, but also will they be able to slow down Patrick Mahomes? Because now we're rolling into like 11 tries, I believe, that the Broncos have faced
Yeah.
Kansas City, and they haven't defeated them. So there's a lot of lying on the line here, and it goes far beyond bragging rights.
Chiefs head coach Andy Reid is near perfect after the bye on his 20-year career. He was asked that about that quite a bit this week and wouldn't really go into the details. But the one thing that they said that they're able to do is self-scout. And that was a good point by you and a good pick by you, because the Broncos were able to self-scout and maybe clean some things up out of the bye week. Now Kansas City has an opportunity to, as you said, and I like that, sprinkle in some new offensive plays, some new defensive looks heading into this all-important division game. And I want to get to that other point you mentioned, because it's been a topic of conversation here in Kansas City, and that is this 11-game winning streak. And I think it makes Chiefs fans really happy, because for years and years, as you know, well, Nick, Peyton Manning was dominating the Chiefs. There was this reversal, and
Yes.
now it's been 11 times in a row since 2015 where the Broncos haven't been able to do it. And so my question to you is, what's the environment when it comes to Denver right now, when it comes to fans talking about this, when it comes to the Broncos talking about this? How aware is both the city and team of this streak?
Well, let's start with the fans. The fans are split pretty much down the middle. There are some fans that are saying, listen, no matter what's going on with the season, you should root for your team no matter what. There are other side of the fan base that say, well, we really don't know what type of team we have. You don't go out and you start the season 3-0, you lose 4 in a row, you defeat the Cowboys, in a very embarrassing fashion, right? And
Yeah.
then you lose the following week to Philadelphia, only to come back and bounce back after the bye and beat San Diego. So it's like, well, we don't know who do we have. What is this team made of? And then those fans that are still on that side of the fence, they're like, no, we know how this movie ends, right? We don't need the director's cut because we already know, and the team is going to fall apart. So there's a bunch of Broncos fans who are already saying Kansas City is going to win the game on Sunday. So my approach, and this is the approach I believe of the team, they're saying, look, we've already proven to this league what we're capable of
Yeah.
when we put a full game together. That's running the ball, being efficient, passing the ball, not turning the ball over, forcing turnovers. Because when we look at the game last week against the Chargers, you have Justin Herbert, who's a dynamic quarterback. I really love this kid. I wish the Broncos would have selected him. but they were able to kind of keep him corralled and force him into mistakes. And Patrick Surtain, as a young rookie, that's 2 interceptions and 1 is a pick 6. So now you are thriving off of old school football, if you will, playing great defense and running the ball. And Vic is preaching to his team all week long. If we do these things, we can run the ball and play keep away and keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. And then now when we get on the field defensively, now we can kind of impose our will based on our personnel. And this is, in my opinion, the best opportunity the Broncos have had in 11 tries, not based on the coaching staff, based on personnel alone.